So, he is. After I lost the election, I won the election, but when they said we're elected.
Well, there you're hearing it in Donald Trump's own words in new audio that was just released, that Donald Trump said that he lost the election. He then had to cover it up, and said, I actually won the thing. But you heard him say, I lost. And he was talking about how his relationship with Geraldo Rivera deteriorated. And that was taken in an interview that he did with Ramin Sadudeh, who is the co-editor-in-chief of Variety, who had previously given some interviews talking about Donald Trump's real serious cognitive problems. Donald Trump's spokespeople then said, oh, this is all made up. This is fake news. Well, Ramin Sadudeh had the receipts. He has the audio recordings. He met with Donald Trump 6 times, and there are a lot of tapes in connection with this book that Ramin Sadudeh published about Donald Trump's continuing to fantasize about his days in The Apprentice and Donald Trump's fake conversations in his mind with people who are no longer alive. It's so bizarre. Take a listen to this recording that was just released as well, where Donald Trump claimed that Joan Rivers voted for him. The one thing is Joan Rivers passed away in 2014, so she cannot have voted for him. And unless Donald Trump believes he's speaking to dead people, or Donald Trump's conspiracies about dead people voting, and he's referring to Joan Rivers, here's what Donald Trump said. Play this clip.
Joan said she was a Republican. Did you know that?
I thought she might have been a Republican.
Yeah.
I know one thing. She voted for me, according to what she said.
Okay, well, there's just one minor problem with that. Joan Rivers died 2 years before the 2016 election, a little too early for early voting.
Then as part of this interview, same interview, Donald Trump, while he's interviewing with this reporter, claims that he needs to go upstairs because he has to address the Afghanistan situation. He goes, I have to deal with the Afghanistan right now. And again, this interview is taken when Donald Trump's no longer in office, right? This is after the election. These 6 interviews were 2021 and later. And Donald Trump saying that he needs to deal with Afghanistan. Here, play this clip.
The reason I'm doing this and devoting a lot of time to it, I have to get back up because, I'm doing the whole thing with the Afghanistan. Has he blown that Afghanistan?
Donald Trump then makes this bizarre statement about Dennis Rodman, and he calls Dennis Rodman a cool cat because Dennis Rodman dated Madonna. He said that's why he's a cool cat. And then Donald Trump goes on to talk about how Dennis Rodman would be like a suitable envoy for him to North Korea. And just listen to what he has to say here. Play this clip.
Dennis was a pretty cool cat in many ways, I'll tell you. Hey, look, he dated Madonna when she was the #1 person. You got to have something going, right?
He also showed up, I think, to one of the summits he had with Kim Jong-un because he knew Kim very well. Do you remember that?
So Kim Jong-un really liked him.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
And I said, I can get these guys out of Harvard government and central casting. They couldn't do anything with Kim Jong-un. A guy like Dennis could. I didn't use Dennis for it,
Right.
but I thought about it a couple of times before I got to know Kim Jong-un. But Dennis would have done a better job than your traditional people, your traditional Ivy League people that always do that stuff and they have no personality. But Kim Jong-un liked him. He coached the basketball team.
Right.
And he did. I asked him about that. He said, I like Dennis.
You asked Kim during one of his.
Yeah, I asked him. He liked him. And by the way, Dennis liked him, too.